What's up, everybody? Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Bits for everything good and bad inside the world of Apple. And things are finally getting juicy with the new iPhone 13 pre-order date. We got Face ID sensor leaks. The Apple Watch Series 7 could be getting a bigger screen. And will the new M1X MacBook Pros get a price hike? Yeah. So wait, you mean we're not going to talk about the same iPhone 13 rumors over and over again? Nah, and I'm sorry for those of you that really love that, but we actually have something new to talk about. But first, a quick thanks to Clean My Mac X for sponsoring this video, the all-in-one cleaning and optimization software for your Mac. Okay, let's get to the show and open up your calendars, because according to Chinese e-commerce website IT Home, Apple is planning to launch the iPhone lineup on September the 17th. Now, a screenshot of the early blunder was posted on Chinese blogging site Weibo that shows all 4 models being available for pre-order on the 17th. And sure, you know, we shouldn't immediately jump to conclusions right away, but if it's to be believed, that date also lines up with John Prosser's sources that break down the upcoming Apple iPhone event like this. According to Prosser, September 7th is when the expected press invites will go out. September the 14th will be Apple's big fall event, their biggest event each year for the iPhone, Apple Watch, and more. And we had previously heard that the 3rd week of September would be the keynote week, and this lines up with that. September the 17th is the expected date for all iPhone models to be available for pre-order. And remember, last year they were broken up into 2 pre-orders a month apart from each other because of COVID's effects on the supply chain. And then September 24th would be the expected launch of the new iPhone 13 mini, iPhone 13, iPhone 13 Pro, and iPhone 13 Pro Max. So, you know, y'all can pencil it in with a light pencil right now. I mean, it's not official, but, you know, make sure you just have your funds in place, or get ready to max out your credit cards for September, because it all lines up with everything we've been expecting. Now, the iPhone 13 might feature a new upgraded Face ID sensor that is not only smaller in size, but can work with masks and foggy glasses, according to an exclusive report from Front Page Tech's John Prosser. Prosser says Apple is currently testing a more advanced Face ID hardware internally by attaching a new prototype case that fits around the current iPhone 12. These renders from him and Ian Zelbo are based on actual images and videos that they have, so it protects their sources. This prototype system allows the iPhone 12 to use the new upgraded Face ID system instead of the one built into the iPhone 12. Now, it also shows the smaller rumored Face ID sensor that removes the speaker grill and matches the same layout from iPhone 13 CAD files that leaked out in June. This prototype case was reportedly needed to do large-scale tests for Apple to collect as much data as possible, so a large number of employees were given this new hardware without handing over a new unreleased iPhone to them, because, you know, we know how well that worked out with the iPhone 4. Employees that are taking part in the testing are being asked to wear masks and glasses to test the new hardware, or it could be one or the other, or a combination of both. Apple's testing is telling us, though, that the new Face ID sensor likely has the ability to authenticate and unlock an iPhone without the aid of an Apple Watch. Because, look, not everyone has an Apple Watch or needs to buy one. And at the end of 2020, analysts estimated that 1 in 10 iPhone users globally have an Apple Watch. And then in the US, roughly 35% of iPhone users have an Apple Watch, because we are simps. Now, with the iPhone 13 expected to be announced in the next month or so, these tests were reportedly conducted recently, and this could mean that the new feature for unlocking Face with masks or glasses may not be available immediately, but maybe later on with a software update after the iPhone 13's release with the new Face ID sensor. Hey, even if you're that guy wearing sunglasses inside at the club, this is going to help everyone, so I love this feature if it happens. Now, if you're one of the people who were just hoping somehow magically that an in-display Touch ID sensor had a chance of coming to the iPhone 13, well, that door has closed, and I wasn't expecting it to happen, but a report from Bloomberg's Mark Gurman says even if Apple tested and has worked on the technology, it will not be coming to the iPhone 13. Earlier reports had claimed the feature was on track to come to the 2021 iPhone, but obviously that isn't happening. And an interesting tidbit the report adds is that Apple's eventual goal is to embed Face ID under the display rather than bring Touch ID to the next generation iPhone. So an in-display Touch ID looks to be on the outs in the minds of Apple, and we know that these in-display fingerprint sensors have become staples on Samsung Galaxy flagship phones and others for a few years now, and they work great, but this is a shift in thinking that we just haven't heard until now, that Apple ideally does not want to implement Touch ID in the display at all. Now, we know that they do have Touch ID. It exists on the power button of the current iPad Air, and it's expected to come to this new iPad Mini 6 that we're hoping to see this fall. Well, the current iPhone SE and entry-level iPads, they'd still have the Touch ID home buttons, but it just doesn't appear to be part of Apple's future anymore. Also, the name iPhone 13, I mean, we've all talked about it, but it has now appeared on what is believed to be the sticker tabs used to seal Apple products in their boxes on Twitter from leaker Dan Rui. Yes, we're talking about stickers, but nothing is official. The name iPhone 13 has been adopted by the rumor mills as its name, and this is the first time we've seen it on any kind of packaging or labeling for this year's iPhone. It's going to be iPhone 13. All right, a new Apple Watch leak now claims that we could possibly see the Series 7 come in larger screen sizes at 41 and 45 millimeters. That would be like the body of the Apple Watch, and that's compared to the current 40 and 44 millimeter watch face sizes for the Series 6. Now, we've shown you the leaked renders with their new design multiple times, and we've talked about at least slimmer bezels on the watch face, creating more screen real estate. But this claim from leaker Uncle Pan is the first mention that we've seen that the Series 7 will be actually physically larger, while the watch band compatibility will remain the same. Now, we just saw images leak out that are believed to be new Apple Watch bands that have started mass production with the 41 millimeter and 45 millimeter sizing directly printed on them. We know the current watch bands are still expected to work with this new design, but this is again another first time that we've seen any physical mention on potential product of the new Series 7 sizing. Now, look, the Apple Watch, I'm excited for it, but there's also a lot of buzz going around the 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pros. Now, according to known leaker Dylan DKT, the upcoming 14-inch MacBook Pro will be more expensive than the current 13-inch Pro's starting price point. According to this claim, the 14-inch and 16-inch Pros will have the same performance due to having the same M1X chip inside. Now, if this holds true, I just think it makes the MacBook Pro announcement even more exciting for anyone even remotely interested, because we know there's many Pro users who would love that same power in the smaller MacBook Pro, since the 16-inch MacBook Pro has always had that performance advantage. Well, right now, the entry-level 13-inch MacBook Pro starts at $1,299. The new 14-inch could reportedly be priced around the high-end 13-inch MacBook Pro price, which starts at $1,799 today. Now, the current 16-inch MacBook Pro starts at $2,399, and the report says that we should expect to see it start at that same price point for the new 16-inch. Now, this is all before upgrades, so again, those are just the starting, thinking for the price points, but I wouldn't be surprised if at least the 16-inch model at least had some sort of specific option, like maybe a GPU upgrade with 32 cores for this fully loaded high-end model, compared to the 14-inch MacBook Pro that Apple would maybe only configure with, let's say, 16 GPU cores or even less, just to kind of create some sort of differentiation, because you know that they got to do something along those lines. Now, we're expecting to see a debut for the new MacBook Pro lineup sometime in October with a new streamlined body. We're hearing all about the mini LED display, improved webcam, no touch bar, more ports, and a MagSafe charging connector. And I am ready for all of this. I've been waiting 2 years, so let's get it going. All right, Mac users, we know you're also waiting for the next-gen Mac Mini. I mean, this is going to be a jam-packed fall, and Bloomberg's Mark Gurman reports that you will get just that. Reiterating what we've heard in rumors, he says that we can expect an updated high-end Mac Mini with a new design and Apple's M1X chip inside. John Prosser had earlier leaked images months ago of the purported M1X Mac Mini design with this new plexiglass-like shiny top and even a magnetic power port like the new M1 iMacs have. It's also expected to bring additional ports, and Gurman says it will arrive in the next couple of months. Now, that could even indicate that Apple's October event will be an all-Apple Silicon event, and it would make sense to debut the new MacBook Pros and a new Mac Mini with their newest chips. So get ready to find that second credit card to max out as well in October. And now, here, let's just do a fun story from let's call it the Apple archives. Apple's currently tied up with this ongoing legal battle with Epic Games and, the whole Fortnite App Store controversy. We know about this, but it's also revealed early Apple documents and correspondence between the team. Now, the most interesting one, an email from Steve Jobs discovered by The Verge, has confirmed that Apple had actually internally discussed plans to work on an iPhone Nano. That would have been a potentially smaller version of the iPhone 4. So if we go back in time, this is late 2010, after the iPhone 4 was released. SJ sent an email to other executives in October of the year, including Greg Joswiak and former Apple exec Bob Mansfield, specifically to lay out the roadmap for the iPhone in 2011. And in that email, Jobs mentioned releasing a plus version of the iPhone 4, so that would have improved antennas. After, you got to remember this, iPhone 4's you're holding it wrong antenna gate controversy. Now, Apple did eventually release the iPhone 4S in 2011, and that addressed the antenna issues and also introduced the World 2 Siri for the first time. It was also the first iPhone year that I did skip, but in that email, SJ also listed a iPhone Nano plan at the bottom of his list. Now, other big topic points were a Verizon iPhone and iPhone 5 hardware. Now, we know that Apple never went the Nano route that year, but even with the rumors back then that they were potentially working on an iPhone Nano, and I gotta imagine they probably were exploring it, and maybe they even had some concepts, but Steve Jobs still stuck to his belief of one model and one size iPhone. Now we fast forward to 2014 with Tim Cook as the CEO. Well, we finally saw two different sized iPhones with the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus for the very first time. And this was a response at the time to Samsung and others releasing bigger screen phone options that were really pushing towards a trend of larger displays like the Note 4. iPhone users, they just wanted a larger screen iPhone without having any of that big screen envy, and it was absolutely the right move because today, Apple now has 7 different iPhones in different sizes, features, and price points to purchase today, and that's really been a signature of Tim Cook's time as CEO at Apple, and it was recently the 10-year anniversary of him being named CEO by Steve Jobs on August 24th of 2011. The AirPods and Apple Watch have been Apple's best new products during those 10 years, and even the Apple Watch really took time to develop and fine-tune, but it was under Tim Cook's watch as well. Now, over the past 10 years, he's transformed Apple to the first company worth $2 trillion. That's $2 trillion, just to make sure you heard me right the first time. We know SJ and Cook, they're two completely different leaders, but I don't think anyone could have brought this much value to Apple as Tim Cook has in that time. So what's Cookie's 10th anniversary reward? $750 million of Apple stock for the final installment of his deal that was put in place when he became the new CEO. Hey, it's good to be the king. All right, big thanks to Clean My Mac X for sponsoring this video. It's the all-in-one cleaning and optimizing software for your Mac. Clean My Mac X is one package that combines the most useful features for your Mac. You got Smart Scan, which is the opening feature of the app. It runs cleanup tasks to reclaim free space. It shows you optimization tasks to be done based on your Mac's condition and does a quick malware check. It will also help you manage your free space more effectively. Its system junk feature detects old user and system cache files that are no longer needed and lets you delete them. And then Space Lens lets you see what exactly takes valuable space by building a virtual map of your Mac's storage. Clean My Mac X is a Mac app to fight digital junk and organize your storage in the most convenient way for you. It's more than just a Mac cleaner. It doesn't show you files you already know you have. It deep scans your Mac for temporary files and app leftovers that aren't so easy to find manually. And Clean My Mac X recently rolled out native support for Apple Silicon Macs to get that entirely fresh look. So we're talking about the new interface with new fancy glass-like icons, cool animations, and hover effects. And the new look perfectly matches the macOS Big Sur style and the upcoming macOS Monterey. Now, I've used it for years, so download a free trial of Clean My Mac X by using the link in the description. Okay, that's going to do it for now. Thank you so much for watching. We had a whole bunch of stuff packed in here, and if you like what you see, give me that thumbs up, subs up, and hit that notification bell, ding, to get all my videos when they drop. And if you want more of that Apple goodness, you can check out my weekly Apple Bits XL audio podcast to get the latest deep dive with all these stories and new ones every week with special guests. I'll see you next time, everybody. Take care and be safe. Peace and love.